To my sweet baby, I want to say to you, life is hard and you're going to have a lot of challenges out there. But I just want you to remember that God loves you and mom loves you, and once you put God first, everything is going to be okay and everything is going to work out. So as you journey through life, I always want you to remember to put God first and to always trust him and to always have a prayer in your heart, my sweet baby. My sweet Naya, as you're affectionately called. So always remember, baby, God first and everything will be well.
Last week we spoke about the men and what I think that they need. But this week I definitely want to give honor to us ladies and exactly who we are, what we are, and how we affect society, our families, everything, like that. Um, but knowing who you are is one of the most defining moments of your life, and the earlier that you achieve it, the easier it is to navigate through the problems of life. So it took a long time for me to get to where I am now, and it's a big journey. It's a lot for me that I have to unravel. But I've come to the place where I am finally knowing myself, knowing what I like, my dislikes. I went through a lot of years of my life, putting myself last. So I didn't have any likes. Everyone that pretty much I was around, what you liked, I liked. Let's help you, and I've never, it was the last thing in the bucket to help myself. But when you seek it out early, you know what you harness, and it's easier for you to find out your purpose, and you start to want to harness these things. You want to, nurture it and incubate it, and you invest in yourself, whether it's school where you self-teach, you self-teach yourself something, read books, look up, lectures, sermons, whatever it is. Once you find that initial passion within yourself, it can be anything. I like psychology. I like art. Some women, it's a wide spectrum of what you like. A lot of girls, some girls like makeup, some girls like business, some, it all ranges. So look for those things and better yourself. A lot of the times, and I've dealt with it myself, family members, friends that have done this, and you'll put that aside and then you'll do it prematurely, and it's like innate for you to want to do these things when you have a boyfriend or, a guy that you like, or, whatever it is. And you're letting yourself dwindle. You're not going to shine as bright as you could have. And when you put validation and you put, pretty much your purpose and your passion in your boyfriend, you are giving him the keys to either lift you or drop you. The key thing is to find the one that is going to lift you. Because manipulation, when you first look at it, everybody sees it as a bad thing. Manipulation is not actually a bad thing. You can have someone, it's literally the art of seduction, if you look at it. You can have someone, 2 examples. Meet a guy, this girl's naive as hell. And, he can use every tactic to make you feel like, I don't want her to feel too big for her britches. So, and it's like a tactic that some men would use. If he sees that she's gorgeous, he'll find something and be like, damn, your forehead's big. And and even though it's a joke, it's like a small seed in her back of her head, and it's just like, damn, do I really have a big forehead? And you be like, girl, if you don't move with your big forehead, you better shine. Like, it's one of those type of things where, in order to control her, he literally will plant a seed to dim her light. Or women, you have a group of friends, you got that one hater. Oh my gosh, every little thing that you do is just some kind of shade, or or a shot, being shot off. Why? So those things will try to restrain you from actually reaching the next milestone. And then there's good manipulation. You'll meet someone in your life, and it can be a mentor, it can be, boyfriend, it can be a girlfriend, mother, father, whatever. And that person sees something in you, they see the potential in you in something, or, they see something that you probably don't even see it yourself. And they do everything possible to breathe life into you, so this way it can activate, or you can tear that muscle, so this way you now have more strength. And that's a form of good manipulation. It's marriage itself. You look at marriage, the husband is the head. The woman, a lot of people say, is the neck. She controls the direction. So, of course, then will be the person that's just like, oh, I want to, baby, I want to get a house. Yeah, I'm going to get a house. That guy is, working hard, working so many hours. Y'all are both building. You guys get a house. It's your job, pretty much. And a lot of women do it. I want to decorate. I want to make this house mine, stuff like that. And say you want this one piece. A wife would actually be like, oh, did you see, the Johnsons down the block? Yeah, they got this nice piece, and I love it, and everybody comes over and blah blah blah, and they must be super super X, Y, and Z. It would look really nice in the living room, something like that. And I know you work so hard, and blah 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 blah. She's literally coaxing him and encouraging him to, well, we're gonna shine just as much. I know you work so hard, but we're gonna, I want to get X, Y, and Z. Because he's head of a household, and he pretty much is she's damn near the apple of his eye. He's gonna want to get it for her, and she knows that whatever item it is mostly purpose or whatever to help the household. So she wants to redo the kitchen. He's just looking at it as, anyone a naked eye would look at it as, oh, she just wants to decorate. In her head, this house, you bought it for, $200,000. If we redo the kitchen, it's going to shoot it up $3,000. We're going to have more value, more equity in the house. So it's just like, you may think picking tiles and, having a nice rug or whatever, black splash, it's more of a vanity item. You're actually instilling more value into the home. A woman that encourages a man to build the family unit, because that's what we do. We are nurturers. We literally multiply everything. And when you know yourself and you know your key points and you're able to strengthen those things, you're going to shine. And whatever he does, you're going to make it 10 times greater, because it's a team. You are a helpmate. So that's like the whole analogy of the house. A woman will direct a man, but the man will lead. And you have the right woman, you have the right man, you guys are going to be unstoppable. You're going to have an empire. But it literally goes down to having the basics formed, and I'm Christian. And I believe in God. If you have God in your life, God will validate you. God will validate you everything that you need. Pray. Pray for other people. Pray for yourself. Pray for self-love. And God will show you. God will show you how, self-love. And it's because you are literally taking your eye off of what other people will deem for you as what's worthy of you and what's not. I don't care how much shade people give you. I don't care how many times somebody will sit there and judge you. You know within yourself who you are. So you're going to have awesome days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have whatever. But initially what you are inside because what God told you. And once you're able to do that, you're good to go, and you start learning discernment because now you are validating yourself within God. So, when you validate yourself within Him, you can discern what fits your needs. You know exactly what you offer to people, what you offer to your mate, what you offer to, the community. I've seen girls and also myself come to a point where you're good. You can either go to the left or you go to the right, and that can either make or break you. And when you're not ready, singleness is not actually it's not a bad thing at all. Singleness is something where you develop yourself, and it's all areas of your life, financially, education wise, anything you need to build your money, financially, spiritually. If you have kids, you better yourself as a mother, you better yourself, as a daughter, whatever. Better yourself to be a better woman. Once you're able to do that, that is your time. That singleness is your time. That seclusion. And I'm not saying that you need to be to the point where you don't speak to anyone and you live in a cave and you don't see the light of day. You can see people all you want, but you do know who you let into your intimate circle and how much you're able to give them. I meet a lot of people every day, but that doesn't mean that they're in my sacred circle. You can be nice, you can be friendly, but not to the point where you're letting that person in and you're allowing them to shift and move things that you were building. You were almost there, and that person literally just knocks it because you don't know who is who until you judge by their fruit. That takes time, so yes, be open to people and be able to love, but don't get to the point where you're not even loving yourself anymore, and that person now is renting room in your head rent free, and there's no qualifications whatsoever. I did that. I let someone move into my head, and I woke up every day, oh, what can I do for this person, X, Y, and Z. Yes, I was still doing my daily needs for myself, but the majority of it was making sure if the other person was okay. And yes, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make sure that other people are good. It's a whole other thing when you're neglecting yourself completely and you're, the word I'm looking for, you negate yourself. You compromise on your own needs for that person's wants. That's a problem. You are going to go down a spiral. And if you don't have the right counsel around you, if you don't have the right girlfriends around you, and wise counsel. Do not have a whole bunch of friends and you getting relationship advice from a girl that had 5 divorces, or just nothing but straight ain't shit men, and she's straight up, you may have a good relationship and you'll have a little fight. You sitting there talking to the girl that said, "Oh, man ain't shit," and da 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 da. You need to do you. She is going to destroy your relationship straight up. And I've noticed it more and more that now women are starting to get, we are starting to get more on the ball, on the game of it, and having accountability towards it, of knowing who is who, and knowing someone's going to give you the wrong tool, and you thinking you're doing something right, and all along that person ain't helping you. And the same thing goes for the guys. Know your circle. Some men are actually jealous beings. And some men will see that you found something that you got, and it's something great for you. And because they ain't have it, you know, they will do everything possible to destroy it. So, and you lose out on a good thing. Both of you guys lost out on something that you guys could have, and it's not even talking about marriage or whatever. You could have met someone that literally would have literally gave you the steps or the push that you needed, or introduce you to the person that you needed to see in order for you to have gotten your degree, or to get that business deal, or for you to get your house. You'll never know. I don't believe in coincidences. I do feel like God will place people in your life, and the devil will place people in your life. The devil is very, very cunning. Satan was the most beautiful creature he's ever made. Drop dead gorgeous. And sometimes the counterfeit will come before what God sends you. And you're thinking that, oh, this is cool, X, Y, and Z, and it really isn't. God uses everybody, and he uses the least expected. The person that you're shitting on, the nice guy or whatever. Oh, he seems so nice, X, Y, and Z. He has his stuff together. He has a good head on his shoulders. He may not have $1 million or X, Y, and Z or whatever. Criteria you have of what you think is a great man to have. But he has the essence for it. And because you fail to see it, you're literally going to nick him off for, whatever you feel is shiny. And it's not, it's pyrite. It's fool's gold. It doesn't make sense. You guys, it literally comes down to patience in order for you to have discernment. Some things happen very quickly where you can kind of just decipher it right then and there, but most of the time, majority of the time, it takes time. Know your friends. Know who's good for you. Know family members that are good for you, and know who's toxic for you. There's some things in life that you can learn without having to have so many bruises. And there's other things in life where you're going to have to get hurt. Pick your battles wisely. Have confidence, on your character. And everything else follows. Have your priorities straight. Most of the time, a lot of women will literally put it in, I got cute clothes and I got makeup on, my hair look real nice, but you have the most disgusting soul. You have no character whatsoever. Learn how to have your virtues. Put those at the utmost. You're gonna go so far because you're walking with straight values. I don't know how to really put that. You're working with your values. Can't go wrong with that. But for the men to your woman, learn how to cover her. You got a girl, and she has, everything, is in a box for you. The woman you prayed for, whatever. She's not gonna come perfect. No woman comes perfect. Sorry, and that's exactly no man comes perfect either. If it does, you better start looking for, where's the where's the flaw in this all of this? It's too perfect. But most of the time, it's an assembly. When you have a Mustang, you have a car. All these things, they don't first just come. They come in parts. You have to build this stuff. But once you build it, it's gonna work. So you may have a girl that you may feel like, oh well, she has a mole on her face or whatever it can be. She has low self-esteem or whatever. If you truly love her and that person is actually put themselves for you, harness that, yo. Help her to blossom, and not for your benefit. A lot of the times people don't know what love is. Love is not, it's not the butterfly feelings, and it's not, you know, candy and flowers on Valentine's Day and late night talks to 5 a.m. It's none of that. It's none of it. Love is sacrificial. Love hurts. It ain't easy, and you gotta love people even on their lowest points. Person can check off on every marker, but they got this one thing that if you're able, that person's able to kind of get over that person is going to be unstoppable. But do you love themselves enough for you to put down, well, I don't think I can handle that, enough for them to soar? That used to be times when people did this. People actually put their own needs aside. Love is extremely selfless. As soon as you start putting yourself in front of love when it comes to partnerships, you are selfish, straight up. And I'm not saying to the point where if you're helping a person now it's detrimentally hurting you, that's something different. But if it's not hurting you and all it takes is just for you to put some time in or just a listening ear and stuff like that, or just helping someone X, Y, and Z, you can do it. And if you're selfish enough, then you really shouldn't be looking for anyone, because there's some things that you need to be happy by yourself, because you never know who you have. You can have a guy that, he's literally, he has one thread away from disintegrating. And because you don't know it, because you are so, focused on yourself and what you want, or say for the guys, well, I need this and I need that. And sure, she has everything there for you. But because you are too lazy to put the time in, or you don't want to see it, it's not the fact that men do see it. People see the qualities people have, but they choose to ignore it, or they choose to try to talk themselves out of it. And you can either make this girl worse, you can leave her as she is, and let the next man, have her do what he needs to do, or you can make her better. It's all about bettering people, period. And yes, you better yourself, but straight up, it comes down to a choice. And if you're not ready for that, then have a seat. Have a seat. You're not ready for her. Okay? She's not ready for you. And if she's that much down the rabbit hole, she's not ready for nobody. She's not. But you have to come to that point. I wasn't ready for people for years. And I was in relationships. Okay? I was married for a number of years. Was not ready for marriage. Was not. I was very, very much in pain. And there was no one can help that. And it wasn't fair of me to ask for that amount of help that only God could do. It's just, when you're hurt like that, and you're dealing with something very, very low, it's very selfish of me, of a person to sit there and be like, I need you to fix my life. It's one thing for you to support me, for you just to sometimes just to listen, just to understand. Because anyone can hear you, but to truly understand, it means to be empathetic, and most people lack true empathy. They may say good job, or they, and it's very patronizing and condescending. That whole, everything is, you can say everything's going to be okay, but it's more like I'm going to give you a little gold star because, feel better. Don't do that. Truly understand her. And that doesn't have to go for women. It goes for both parties. Truly understand the person. If you want to help the person, if you want to be in a person's life, truly understand them. Because if you don't, you're going to be an asshole to them, whether you're directly or indirectly doing it. You have a child and you love that child down to your core, you're going to want to understand your kid. If your kid's hurting, you're going to want to understand your child. It's the same thing when it comes to you loving your best friend or your spouse or your girlfriend, whatever. You're going to want that person to get true help, and you're going to want to be there. Don't do it because it's comfortable. Do it because you love them. And love takes sacrifice, straight up. Love is not comfortable. It is not. You're going to find things in life. You're going to have to deal with things. And the problems don't stop. You just get stronger. That's all it is. You're always going to get a hit with wave. It's going to be highs and it's going to be lows of your life. But if you can handle the lows that you had before, the next low that you have more assets, you have more tools to deal with the future, period. And if you have a helpmate, you guys are supposed to be a team. It's not when you're selfish and you got a whole roster of women, you're only hurting yourself. You're hurting the girl that is there, because either A, she don't know, or she has an intuition that she does know, she just can't prove it, or whatever it is. You guys are hurting her, and you're hurting yourself in the long run, because as you get older, you're gonna want to settle down, you're gonna want to have kids, you're gonna want to have peace. And if you were sitting there playing around for so long, it's only but so much. It's like how it's a lot of women in the world, and it's not so much, it's not a lot of good men in the world. There's not a lot of good women in the world either. It's a cycle that happens, and it's ruining good people. How many times are you going to shit on her? Because guess what's going to happen? She's going to shit on the next guy. And then you ruin the next guy's future wife because of all the times that you needed to heal. Same thing goes for women. You sitting there putting a good guy to the side and I'm not really feeling it. That guy gets hurt too many times. He's going to be a monster if he allows it. So know yourself. And women, you are beautiful from the inside out. I don't care what people told you. I don't care what happened in your life. You are beautiful. You are smart. You have values. Harness them things. Them things gonna get you far. Do everything that you can to shine. Because there are people out there that's rooting for you. And it's always the one that doesn't even know you. Or you don't even know that is rooting for you. So it's good if you have a good circle, a good support team, stuff like that. Awesome. If you don't, seek it. Seek it. Read your Bible. Pray. And yes, I don't read my Bible as often as I should, but I do. I pray every day. I do. So once you have those things in line, you'll be fine. Know that there are people that love you and all the quirks of you. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to, someone finds it completely normal. So don't be too hard on yourself. Us women, we're pretty strong, and we're strong in the most delicate ways. Don't be afraid to be feminine. Don't be afraid to be soft. Don't always feel like the need to always have to be so strong. Sometimes in your weakness is your strength. I've had to learn that the hard way. I was always weak. But when I finally faced the fact that, you're weak in this, it actually became my freaking strength. So, and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay not to be good at everything. But know that You're worth it. You are worth it. Be happy. If you are with someone, be happy. Enjoy them. Be goofy as hell. If you're not with someone, enjoy life. Be goofy as hell. Enjoy it all. Because once it's over, it's over. Alright? I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Good night.